Like, girls be like, I need my man. Like, you know,
let them know.
You know?
That's dope,
Yeah.
though.
Man, you guys make me tired of being single.
Hey, he's funny. He's super funny.
Hey, it's cooking. It's cooking. That means,
cooking.
you know,
He's
the right
cooking,
one.
right.
You just haven't come across the right one.
Of course, yes.
No,
Or maybe you have.
It's serious to fun as the week is done. 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 As the week is done. Woo! What we got today?
Man, what? In case you haven't noticed, we got a musical episode.
We all different types of vibes in here.
I know it only is gonna get better. Welcome to another Friday Free-for-All. All right. Thank you for joining the Weekday series. Okay. I hope you had a great week because you're gonna have a great transition to this weekend. Now, Blitz.
Yes, sir.
We do have some special guests in the building.
Oh, of course we do.
All right. Now, first and foremost, we gotta introduce not only them together, but we gotta respect them individually. You feel me?
I like the way you word that. That's a great way to put it.
Exactly. I got to bring them correct. So first and foremost, we do have the lovely Sherry, also known as DJ CHER, in the building. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in case you did notice, she's a woman of many talents. Okay. I introduced her as Sherry, but she does DJ. Female DJs in the house. She's representing. Okay. All right. And to the left of her, we got an artist in the building, Blitz.
All right, yes, sir. We know we love that. Well, that's studio, so you know we got to bring those vibes.
Got to bring the vibes. The man with the vibes today, we got the none other than Mr. XO Paris in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got to thank you both for joining us today. I can't thank you enough for joining us.
so much for
Now, guys, the point of the free-for-all, all right, is to help our viewers transition to this weekend smoothly, all right? Paris, man, how important is that intentionality, bro? Because you even spoke on it, bro. You're gonna have to get it.
It's quite literally everything. I think people think the skill I've had or the skill I've created for myself was like I was born with this, you know? I worked tirelessly like day in and day out. Like I look at music as reps, you know? It's a game of reps. It's a game of basketball. It's a game of, you know, it's a sport to me.
Yeah.
Every single day I'm making music. Every single day I'm pumping out content. Every single day I'm thinking of how I can grow. A lot of people look at art as something that's a leisure, and that's what separates good from great. That separates a hobby from a career.
That part.
There you go.
That part. Because Liz talks about it all the time. Like, the way you approach whatever you're doing determines the seriousness of it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
No.
And if you don't take yourself seriously, then nobody else will.
Oh, my God. Hey, dudes coming. I know you're an artist, but you come with some bars and energy.
You know what? I kind of have to ask this question on this way because when you really think about that, right? Being an artist is all fun and games, right? And it's hard to really grow in that industry and become very business oriented. And my history as a DJ, and you're actively in the DJ realm. Is it the same type of thing you're going through, or maybe you have to balance it out a little bit more because you're actively in the field all the time? And, you know, I'm sure DJing is a fun experience
Most
too.
definitely.
And sometimes you got to be like, hey, I got to be about my business today. And other times it's like, I'm not about my business, you know, or, you know what I mean? I'm performing.
Yeah, most definitely. And, you know, we spoke earlier about that, but, you know, like being in the zone and DJing, like I just love curating a vibe and making people feel some type of way to like, someone came up to me at like, you know, just a backyard house party over the summer. And, you know, I was playing like Jersey, hip hop, Afrobeats, everything. And they came up to me and they said, wow, like, Cher, like you really touched me. Like I could get emotional. Like you really touched me. And I'm just like, damn, like I did that, you know? And it's like, okay, maybe, you know, I was playing Drake, Ashanti, I was playing, you know, Rema, I was playing all these different artists that, you know, touch millions of people more than me. But it's like being able to curate all that together, you know, mix it in with my artistic ability, take the beats from one, take the vocals from another. Yeah, I just feel like, you know, yes, like it's business, but like any craft that you do, whether you make money off of it or not, and you're really putting your all into it with like good intention, you can really touch people like that. Because I feel like that person telling me that, like touched me like no other, you know, like touched me like no other, you know, more than someone putting me on their Instagram story or all these cameras in my face at the club, you know. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it's about, you know.
And that's the real fulfillment. within the crowds. Paris, what is it for you in terms of being a performer, bro, and an artist? What's the fulfillment and the overall thing that gets you going?
To me, it's all about positivity. Like going on stage and giving people a show and encouraging people that they can do it too is like my biggest goal. You know, I function on positivity. I think a lot of people, like, they look at my aesthetic and assume, like, you know, oh, he's probably standoffish, or he's probably this, he's probably that. But at the end of the day, I'm always rooting for the underdog. I'm always rooting for the person who has the desire to better their life, you know? And so if I'm seeing people in the crowd that are vibing with my music, and after they tell me, oh, you inspire me to get on stage, you inspire me to make music, you inspire me, it doesn't even have to be music, you inspire me to pursue my dreams, then I'm happy, I'm content. You know, I feel like a lot of people base their happiness off of transactional things, such as money, such as, you know, cars or whatnot. And so if something that you base your value off it is transactional, you can be bought, you know, you can be deferred. You know, so your days the time, yeah.
Paris coming hot, bro. You know, I'm usually the one. You know,
It's kind of funny to hear that coming from an artist. I'm just saying in the sense, because I'll be honest with you, I've been in the music industry for a long time. I kind of always say I'm retired, right? But I am rarely ever retired. But I firmly believe that nobody gets exploited more than the artist. In the industry, I think that a lot of times people see them as money bags. I think a lot of people have brought opportunities that have had ill intentions to people. And I think a lot of people basically have this, they build this pipe dream for artists, and they just like lead them with a carrot, and they just reel them in and reel them in. So how do you stay positive through that, one? And two, like, most importantly, how you feel that your journey has been as an artist, and do you feel like you went through that?
To me, I was so fortunate in the way I came up. It's actually super funny. I won't get into too many details for the sake of time.
Yeah.
But I was like a sophomore in college, and I was not getting nearly the streams I wanted. Like, I was looking at my SoundCloud, and it would be like a few thousand, and I'm like devastated. You know, I'm devastated. And I remember I was in one of my classes, and I get a DM from this A&R, and she's like, "I love your music. I love your style. Would you be interested in coming to Hawaii for a music video?"
Oh,
and I'm thinking, like, at the time I had no following, I'm thinking this is all like a scam or something. And she's like, "I can FaceTime tomorrow. I have an artist that I'm working with, and I can show you, you know, he has a follow and fan base." She FaceTimed me, and on that FaceTime, she booked the tickets. So I packed my bags. Mind you, this was the last week of school, so I had finals and everything. I did to my finals early, got out of there, went to LA, and we chatted up, and we went straight from there to Hawaii. So,
like, I'm listening to a movie.
and so that first thing, it was like I was going from like being in college in a classroom to we're going out spending like some good money on some food, and it's just the lifestyle. And so basically they took me under their wing, you know, and they taught me the game, and I wasn't exploited, because they truly felt like, oh, what you had is different. We're gonna build you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my A&R, or at the time the A&R I was working with, she had so many artists that came and went, but it was like I was like the little brother figure who always like, all right, learn this, learn that. And when I went to LA, yeah, they taught me everything. They taught me social media. They taught me every aspect of the game. So when I came back to Chicago, it was like I was a new person. I reinvented myself. You know, everybody's looking at me like, yo, you know, it went from a hobby to, bro made it. Bro's out in LA, bro's, you know, like we'd be coming from the airport in like what is that big like car, Tahoe, you know, like the you know, like it was just regular. We like, oh, we want some, you know, we want to stop at this place. It was easy. And I've never been in a place where money was just not a worry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, now I know this lifestyle. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now let's work.
Yeah, let's do it. You know what's really interesting about that, and I'll let me bring that up, is because, you know, you look into you go into an environment like that.
Yeah.
With basically you're not any different than you were the day before, right? That's just what happened. A call happened, and instead of that, and you know, I think one of the hardest things being in the music industry is, how do you determine if you're successful or not?
Yes.
That's one of the hardest things. Is it by streams? Is it by that? And I think that I think a lot of the reason why a lot of artists and just anybody in the creative industry struggles is because they cannot put their mark on what they deem is successful for them. And I think it's like, you know, a lot of people are like, bro, I don't got 1 million streams. But I know people with 1 million streams that still work regular jobs. Like, so like, where do you gauge your level of success or where you want to be in that sense? Or like, what's a successful career look like to you?
Great question. It's because it goes to what's the ultimate goal?
Yeah.
For sure. I want to change the way that artists make money. I've been working with a lot of artists that are a little bit removed from the scene, like they're kind of like retired now, and they kind of want to settle into like the more business aspect. And I'm thinking of a new business model that will give more money to the artist, you know? So my goal is to create a steady income off of purely artistry to encourage more artists to be pure with their work. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists get skewed because they're just a puppet. You know what I'm saying? But if we can create a business model for artists to follow in order to create wealth for their family, in order to, you know, create some type of stability, you know? I've seen so many artists that on their Instagram, they're bumping, but like behind closed doors, they're struggling. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be that way, especially when we're the ones making the hits and we're the ones touching the crowd. We're the ones, you know, portraying the person that people look up to, you know?
I saw church. I think I saw something from the church. I know we'll go a little bit less deep into this, but I saw something at church, right? It said a public success could be a private failure. It's crazy. There's a lot of look at that. Like, I almost crazy. I'm supposed, but that's what I was saying. I didn't do. Are you? So you. I remember that. Oh yeah, Is it he touched you? Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely touched you. And I think that's a lot of the artist game right now.
And
I think
I'm really curious, Cher, from your perspective, not only just with DJ perspective, a female DJ, right? Does that bring another layer, right, of, I would say, another lens you have to look through when it comes to doing your work and the interaction just on the business side, right?
Sure.
Not only is like we're talking booking gigs or we're talking, all right, getting clientele, right? Does the dynamic of being a female DJ, does that play any part in that?
Sure, I feel being female anything, you know, like being female anything, you know, like obviously there's history, you know, so women not being able to vote, women, you know, not having rights. So like people will look at that and be like, it's like, it's history, that's past. Like, can we get past that, you know? But it's like, it is true though. And like, as a woman myself, I could say that maybe being a girl can be, and you know, to each their own, can be intimidating for a world that is meant for male success, I guess. You know, I feel like a lot of things, like even the gym, you know, and like content, like, oh, people post the muscles and all that. Like for men, it's like easier to gain muscles. Maybe women, like, you know, it's harder for our bodies to be toned or be real fit, you know, because we're meant to bear children and things. So I feel like being a female DJ, especially in a male dominated industry, you know, nightlife, music in general, you know, even though that's slowly changing with more and more female artists on the come up, I still feel like a perk is that eyes kind of gravitate because it's like less common, you know, being a female DJ, you hear DJ Cher. I mean, even my logo is like, you know, like the little girl cartoon, like, you know, people are gonna be like, oh, female DJ, or like, you know, people are gonna be like, oh, female DJ, or they could be like, oh, female DJ, like what she know about rap, what she know about music, you know. And so there's pros and cons to it. And another thing too is like intention around you. I feel like because you're female as a DJ, or you know, in any male dominated industry, eyes are on you, and it's like eyes could be on you out of envy or out of ill intent, you know. So it's important, you know, like having such a good relationship and having someone who protects me and watches my back and kind of keeps, you know, eyes out for things, you know, because as a girl, you want to be nice, you want to be welcoming, you want to be open, but I guess, how can I say, like, there's a reason why, like the male lion, like, protects the female and the cubs, you know, like, there's a reason why. And it's just because, like, women are meant to nurture and be soft. But with that, you know, can pose a risk, I guess, of vulnerability. And so, Yeah, I guess just, being a female DJ is cool. Like, love representing the girls and feeling the vibe. Because I feel like as a girl, you know what you do your makeup to. You know what you know.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because to be honest with you, when I was leaving the industry, right,
Yeah.
I did notice so there's two things to that, right? There has been a shift towards more, they want to promote more female DJs and stuff like that. So I think as far as entry goes, I don't feel like it's been as hard for females to get in. However, there's a caveat to that. There's a big caveat. I think that sometimes, especially in this industry, there is a level of safety you want to kind of promote in this industry, because you know what, there really is a lot of people that are there to take advantage of that situations. And I think even though that there's more opportunities now for girls, I think it's kind of sad to see that some people want to exploit that.
Yeah.
I think it really is sad, and I think a lot of people don't take enough of that into consideration when going to think about it. So I feel like even though that there's been like a tide shift into, okay, hey, you know what, we need to fill our roster, in this way, like with diversity and stuff like that, there really is a very strong questionability for safety. How do you feel like your situation? How do you stay safe in your situation?
Sure.
And what type of things do you do now to just make sure that, hey, you're putting yourself in the best positions? Because nightlife industry, we all know is bad.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
to double down on there, how do you guys protect your peace?
Yeah, protect your.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Paris, you've been going at this for a while. So how much emphasis do you guys put on protecting your inner peace and making sure that, like Blitz said, all that negativity revolving the industry, how it cannot affect you?
For sure. I feel like some people are suited for specific things. I feel like I've always been suited to be an artist because my like radical detest to like negativity is just like, like
I don't stand for it.
yeah, like I used to pull up to school with like some space jogging pants and I would get clowned and I'm like, I'd go to school with a Naruto headband. Like I just didn't care. I had no. I would try to wear a Spider-Man costume in school and my mom would take it off. She'd be like, "You're not going to school like that." I always had that complex. There was never a time in my life where I was worried about what other people were thinking about me because I know other people don't have that passion I have. Nobody had that passion I had to be a superhero. Everybody wanted to be a superhero, but nobody was like, I'm gonna dress like a superhero. I'm gonna be at fashion. It was all like, I want to admire this person. I'm like, no, I want to be that person. I want to be the person that people admire, So from the beginning, I was always pushing out negativity because I knew negativity would bring that down. Negativity would keep me grounded. And my thoughts are going to elevate me. And the people around me who shared like those like-minded thoughts are going to also elevate me,
I would say like I learned that from him a lot is just like, staying locked in, don't like that judgment and stuff comes from people that don't know your situation. They have a problem with themselves, and I feel like it's so like goofy to say because your parents always telling you like, oh, someone who's hating on you or makes fun of you, it's because they don't like themselves or something's wrong with themselves. And it's like as kids we're like, huh, like what does that even mean? But it's like there's truth to it, and you can't depend on judgmental people or negative people because if they have like the power to point out something wrong with you, then there must be zero confidence in themselves, So it's like, okay, well, if you have zero confidence in yourself, why am I going to listen to your opinion? Why am I going to listen to your judgment or your tips or what you have to say? I don't want to be, brought down. I just want to be lifted up. And I learned that from him a lot, because sometimes I'll tell him like, oh, like, I don't know if these people are taking me seriously in this setting or like, I don't know if these people are really liking it. Like, what if this certain crowd like doesn't see me as, who I am and what I look like as like suitable for their party? He's like, nah, like, don't worry about that. Like, you know what you're doing. I'm like, you're right. I do know what I'm doing, So I guess like protecting peace just really comes from like, having confidence in yourself. Cause I still have confidence in myself. I still have to love myself and order to even listen to anything he has to say, because if I'm not confident, if I'm not, right with myself, then, outside words don't matter. So I feel like, he kind of like softens me a little bit, like, like I can finally, chill because I have a supportive person by me at all times.
That's really good, man. That just goes to show we all need somebody.
Yeah.
We all need somebody. Dude. We can't do this on your hands.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, and I think that that's definitely something that, you know, you have to look into you as far as, like, you know, the way you feel. And hey, I'll tell you that much. But kind of spinning it back around, like, it just kind of more lighthearted something, right? When it comes to the industry that you guys are in, I'm sure that there is not a lot of parental support sometimes, right? I'm not going to say all the time because in my situation, they always supported me.
Sure.
Well, one did. Desi?
Hell of a song. What? Why you call me a lunatic? I'm just joking. Yeah, both I beg. Yeah, I am joking, but I'm being positive about it, right?
Yeah.
But I will say, do you guys feel like you felt that support from your family, from your side, or do you feel like it's been like, hey, they told you, yeah, man, you fumbled the bag.
I feel like we differ in that a lot, which has to do like his very like hard grit and my like kind of more like softer, like take a step back because of like the families we came from. Like me being, so I have an older brother. So, but we do have different dads. So in my house, I was the oldest daughter, the youngest daughter, the only kid. So like, you know, like I mean, like, you know, because it's like, you know, people are like, oh, you know, if you know as the oldest daughter, if you know as the youngest kid, but it's like, I know all of that because I'm the only one, you know, but I still have an older brother. So it's not like I have like only the thoughts of an only child because I do have an older brother. My cousin, you know, lived with us growing up. He's a year younger than me. But yeah, I feel like my family, like I played basketball my whole life. Oh, and 1 year of college. So really DJing is like a newer thing of my life. Like I feel like this is really what I like to do, like fashion, music, DJing, photo shoots, like all that creative stuff. Like I love that. And basketball allowed me to be creative in certain ways, you know. And I was able to, you know, curate on the court, but also get to talk to different coaches, play with tons of different girls across the country. Like I'm so grateful for the sport, and I hope that, you know, one day when I'm able to, like I can, you know, fund like girls sports, especially basketball, you know, because I think it's just underrepresented, like a bunch of female things are in general.
I have a lie. Girl basketball is good and crazy right this up. Girl basketball been on the up and up.
Most definitely, and I love that. You know, I love seeing that because when I was little, you know, I didn't. That my goal was like, you know, like anyone else, like, oh, D1, be on the big screen, and I never got quite that far. But I love seeing girls that I played with get that far. You know, like some of my own teammates playing D1 and on the big screen, playing with Caitlin Clark, you know, and all these names we know. Yeah, like you know, my own teammates I had before, but yeah. So I sorry.
No, I love that. I love that because you were. See, that's why it's important. Put passion, whatever you're doing, right? Because you were involved in something that everyone used to know you by, right? So it was easy for everyone to kind of put you in that box, be like, you do this, continue to do that, right? So when you broke away from that, right, it's a change not only for yourself but for everyone around you, and not everyone is gonna ride with you on the change, right? Because not everyone is used to change.
Most definitely.
Right? Not everyone even accepts change either.
For sure.
Right? Paris, man, how many times, bro, did you see people change on you? Throughout the elevation, you feel me, of each stage of your career? Because I'm sure there were highs, there were lows, right? And I'm sure throughout that, you know, the interaction with people were probably different.
Well, it's definitely, I would say countlessly in all different aspects, but a lot of people tend to fix on the time when it will occur. Like, it's only a time until this will end, or there's only a time until this will blow up and I'm in my face. And I've come to realize, like, everything in life is a lesson, and either you can fixate on the end or you can fixate on what you learn in the process, you know? And I've learned countless mistakes that I can learn from, and I've learned that not everybody has your best intent, but I've also learned that when people truly believe in you, it can go a long way. And that you can truly inspire people with words, or you can truly inspire people on stage. There's so many countless lessons I've learned that the lessons to me are more important than maybe the bonds that I've lost, because I know the bonds that I've lost weren't meant to happen. You know, maybe they didn't share the same ideas as me, or, you know, all my friends, like my main friends, I would say I don't really consider them my friends. I consider them my brothers because it's the things we talk about is brother. You know, is like is brother. We're honest. You know, it's not anything service value. So I don't stick around people who talk about service value things. You know, and so if we didn't work out, if my friendships or the people, you know, business partner, this and that, we didn't work out, there was a reason to it. You know, I'm on the up and up, and maybe they didn't share the same mindset, and that's okay.
You are on the up and up. Your Instagram blowing up. I gotta give you mad respect. Okay, you've been hustling, you've been grinding, and you both look like a rock star couple. Okay, so from the outside looking in, right? What's the most fun and thing you guys have done together, like collaborated on or worked together, like just through, you know, this time?
Wanna go?
So yeah, you can say it.
You can't like it.
What he said is, I like it. See? No, because I'm like, no, you stay, because you're the main.
Bro, Nate, wait, so it must be something. It must be something.
It sounds on it's the same thing.
Yeah, so right, we've done a lot of photo shoots together, a lot of music videos, and this and that. But I would say the most fun thing we've done recently.
What to get into?
We got a song on the way.
You use the Star Wars. How about my first song ever?
Really hopped on the beat.
Curated and written by the one and only.
But performed by you.
See that?
You jumping into the club or what?
I would drop it in the club if I remember. Oh my gosh. Like, I feel like I listen to music, like, you know, I'll listen, like, I should play this. Ooh, like, this will be good for this card. And I always forget because late nights get this all. Sometimes I'm just like, you know, like his music too. I'm like, ooh, this song would go hard. Like, I'm gonna play it. And then, you know, sometimes I'm just looking at the crowd and all these girls dancing and they like that. I get thrown and I just gotta keep it going. You better do it. Or mixing some sexy red, you know, that always do it. But
Sure. You play his music in the club?
I think I played it once actually. I think I played it once.
I know, Carls. Those hurry me hard.
No, you know what? You can't even blame no, because like, look, every time I tell you know how many times I got offered like money to play somebody's us speaking
At the club, and I was like, bro, there's no way.
And you know, that's why I'm unfazed because I feel like the way that he curates his music is just very different, and it's not something that I can just play for anything, you know?
Well, that feel
like
you got
any type of vibe, exactly. And that goes with like a lot of different songs, but especially his music, you know? And I love his music. I always tell him he's my favorite singer, and he is because
Okay. Hey, that's good.
I love it.
It got him blushing for sure. It got him blushing.
I love his music. But like, you know, he knows, and it's like, you know, when I'm in the zone with some sexy red, like, you know, I'm in the zone with some sexy red.
straight up, like I like, hey, I'll tell you what, Sexy Red is the best artist in the world. Nah. Oh, but I will say, no, seriously, in the club, if you don't play what they want to play, they get mad.
Yeah.
Like you'll get the card. I'm like, God, man, bro, I can't tell you how many times I played probably 4 Sexy Red songs in a matter of a 10-minute span, and play Sexy Red. Bro, come on, bro.
Well, yeah,
What is this? What?
If you ain't paying, I ain't playing.
Okay, so nobody gets a song request with you, huh?
I mean, like, sometimes, like, it's so much, if I'm in like a 2000s era and people vibing, you know, to that 90s 2000s pop and R&B, and someone's like, oh, play some Shakira, like, oh yeah, I forgot about her, you know? Like, as a DJ, especially when you do so many different clubs, like, sometimes like, I feel like you get into rhythms, like different phases with certain artists and certain songs. You're like, dang, like, I really like this album of this artist. Like, I'm gonna play a lot of their music. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like as DJs, we just like absorb so much, and like something just turns, at least for me, like when I get to performing, you know, or playing a set, I guess, less of a performance. It's like a switch just turns. I'm like, all right, vibe. I'll play a song. I'll see like 75% of the room moving. I'm like, okay, what song is similar to this? What song is a similar BPM? Oh, let me play that. And I'm just going. But you can't keep them dancing for too long because they're going to get tired.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
right?
you got to
They're going to get tired, so you got to slow it down a little bit. Like, there's ways to do it. But what I love about DJing is that you can quite literally curate it. Like, as your own. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like making a song. It's just like making a piece of art. It's just like building a Lego set, like making a rug, like doing anything that you create your own, you know, and it's really cool. Like I really love to do it. It's
That
fun.
is really cool.
No, that
I
is
want to
cool.
know from the other side then, because Paris, you're a performer. See, you're giving a service, right? But
Yeah.
you're giving a different kind of service. You're
For sure,
entertaining.
for sure.
So what things do you have to take account
Most
into
that.
when you out there?
And it's so funny because we have this conversation, and I'm very much like, oh, if they don't like what you play, just do it anyway, you know, because like at the end of the day, what I
I'm
do,
like, okay.
because at the end of the day, people are gathering around to watch me be myself. So me being genuine is gonna work with me, you know. But at the end of the day, like she's curating a room, so she has to be aware of what others are looking for, you know. So it's like we have different goals with when we're performing or when you know, because I see what she does is performance too. You know, she's creating art for everybody else to hear. You know, so for her, she has to be more aware of the people as opposed to me. It's like I'm setting the tone for the people. I want to leave them with inspiration. I'm telling them this is how you do it. You know, showing them the ropes.
Right.
You know, so for me, I'm like, you know, like just y'all watching me. It's hard to explain. Not in a, you know, not
No,
a
I
condescending
get it.
way, but when it's
Yeah.
time to turn it on, you know, they came to see me do my thing, and I want to inspire them to push that, keep that ball moving forward. You know, so it's, you know, we have different goals in what we do.
For sure.
That is so true. It's so cool to see the different lenses, though, you know, because it's different goals, but it's all derived, you know, from inner motivation. I love that internal drive,
Definitely.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love that. I love
you
that,
so
man.
much.
I'm curious to know, okay? All right. This is going to be just, you know, out of the blue, out of the left field. All right. But I'm bringing
Left
it here.
field, damn.
Yes, we're
Left
taking yes.
field,
It came from left field, but it's coming in here. All right. What is a moment that you both experienced like, yeah, yeah, you do this. Like like for you, what's a moment you experience her in her element? Like, yeah, she does this. And then for you, what's the moment you experience him? Like, yeah, he does this. You feel me?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
a great
I'm curious to
question.
know from both their point of views.
I feel, because you know we were friends for a while before we started dating.
I'm sorry,
and-
pause. Can you run that back? Can you repeat that, especially for the people in the back?
We started off as close friends,
And
and then you turn into my what?
And then you turn into my.
Basically, but yeah. So we started as friends, and you know, I was DJing. You know, when we became friends, I was DJing. He would come support me, and I appreciated that. And I'll always remember too is one of my cousins. Well, I'm close to all my cousins. I love my family.
Shout out to the
I'm a
familia.
family girl
Yeah.
for sure. I come from a big loving family. That, you know, if you got a basketball game, if you got a performance,
They ride.
all the aunties gonna be there, you know,
love
and I
that.
love that. And one of my first like smaller sets at like a local restaurant, he was there and he met my cousin, who he's actually like pretty close with now, I would say. And I didn't realize that. I was like, we were talking about the other day. I was like, do you remember that set? He's like, yeah. He's like, Sam was there, which is my cousin. Love you. And
Little shout out.
and,
Shout
and
out.
I was like, oh yeah, like that was the first time you met her, and they always like kind of clicked, you know. And then I'm like, oh, like he has known her about the same time he's known me, you know, which I think is cool. But like, you know, whole time I'm DJing, but like I really didn't see the first time I seen him perform was, what date was that? It was at the Promontory in Hyde Park.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Promontory. Shout out the people that put
Shout
on
out to
that
the
show.
Promontory, yes,
Because it was
sir.
real. It was real fire. Had all these artists there and people were doing their thing and it was awesome. But it was, what would that be? Oh, open mic, like open stage. You know, you sign up for a slot, you perform. And he performed and I was so excited. I was like, oh, like, you know, I've been seeing him make his music and singing, you know, now we're dating at this time, obviously. And I'm like, can't wait to see him perform. And like he performs and he just like puts it on. I'm like, dang, like
There
he
you
just
go.
did like awesome, like the energy, the connection with the audience. Like even me, I know ever since I was a kid, like I've thought that I'm social and good at public speaking.
Me too.
But I'm really not.
I think we all
Like
went through that
for
phase.
some reason,
Yeah, right.
you know, you get to feeling nervous, you get to breathing heavy, you get to shaking, you get to almost tears in your eyes, you know? And so like I really like applaud him for like being able to get up in front of a bunch of, because even sometimes with DJing, I make one little mistake, I'm like, oh my God, like I can't wait to leave, you know? But he really just like, you know, did his thing and performed in front of a bunch of people and everyone was cheering and he was all over the stage and singing his song and I was singing the song because I know the song. I know all the songs almost. There's so many. I have a few favorites. But yeah, I think just seeing him there and then, you know, a recent show that he headlined was also really cool. I was taking videos too with like a little camera that we have. And yeah, so I think, yeah, like that. I was like, I mean, I know that he been got it.
Yeah,
but like being able to see it is like really awesome, you know, like kind of like when your parents or, you know, a really close relative like comes to your art show for the first time or comes to your basketball game, you know, they just love to see it, like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was good. That was good.
So yeah.
Paris, when did Cher do it for you, man? When did she have you like? Okay.
I'm curious.
Well, to me, like I feel like I'm always gauging people's skill set, like how do they operate in their craft, and I feel like from the beginning, from the way she's able to instantly like look at the crowd, look at any crowd she sees, and just get them in the dance. Like I'm telling you, we've been everywhere. There's so many gigs she's been to, and every time I'm telling you, there's people that are coming up to her like, "What's your name? What's you know?" And her ability to captivate any room she's in shows that it's not it's not like just a coincidence.
Right.
It's who she is.
Oh,
it's who she breathes.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't like a maybe. It was I need her in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there you go.
She knows that. She knows that.
Okay.
I do
That's
know
a
that.
clip.
You
That's
know?
I do know
hey,
that.
that's what I'm talking
Absolutely.
about.
I'm very much a man of action. You know, like I feel like talking with the homies. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna talk to this girl. That's for the chicks. That's for the ladies. You know, for me, I'm a man of action. If there's somebody I want, there's somebody, you know, there's something I need. I told her, I was like, I need you in my life, you know. And Valentine's Day I came with it.
That's good.
Valentine's Day I came with it. You know?
There you go.
If I'm a man of
to
love.
see it.
I love that.
It's so true though.
Season of
You
love's
know?
coming up.
True. Like if he wanted to, he would. Like, you know, I feel like we touched on this like earlier today, but you know, like when you know, you know. Like I feel like you hear that, you know, maybe as a kid when you in high school you start dating and you know, whatever your friends tell you, your parents tell you, you know, when you know, you know. But then when you really like someone when you're young, your parents are like, just wait till college. Like, you know, you'll meet someone. So it's like you grow up so confused because there's like all these things. But of course, that's a part of growing up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like, yeah, like when you know, you know, like when you can finally like exhale and have conversation after conversation and just connect with someone and be like, because everyone has these thoughts in their head their whole life, right? Everyone talks to themselves their whole life. And maybe when you're young, you play a sport and you talk to your teammates. Okay, that's one thing. But then you have your best friends in your class that don't play that sport, right? And I'm speaking from personal experience. Like, you have a different relationship with them. Then you got your cousins.
Facts.
And then,
everyone got their own different lanes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you finally find the person that just, like, takes in everything and, like, you can share it comfortably, you can share it like you're being heard, and, like, vice versa, it's, like, a breath of fresh air, you know? Like, going at life, like, I'm all for being independent and, you know, especially as a woman, but like being able to go 100%, but then with someone else that like boosts you times 200%, you know, like girls be like, I need my man, like, you know,
Let
like,
them know.
you know,
Nah, it's dope
Yeah.
though.
Man, you guys make me tired of being single, man.
Hey, he's funny. He's super funny.
hey,
Nah.
it's cooking. It's cooking.
He's
That means,
cooking,
you know,
he's
the right
cooking,
one.
right.
You just haven't come across the right one.
Of course, yes.
No,
It
Or
comes
maybe
when you
you
least
have.
expect it.
Maybe
It comes
you
when you least
have.
expect
Hey,
it.
you know what they say?
That part.
You know what's crazy?
That
They say 75% of people know who they're gonna be with by the age of, I think it was like the age of 18.
What?
And that's crazy. Like they're not no. I'm sorry, not no. They've met.
Oh,
who
like
they're
they
gonna-
met. They
they've
stumbled
met
into
who
like
they've
they
stumbled
crossed
into who they're
paths
gonna
with
be
them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nah, I'm
okay,
sorry.
okay.
No. They met.
They
Yeah.
met.
No, but
Which
that's
is, I
crazy.
think that's crazy. I think that is a
Absolutely.
crazy statistic. I don't know if that's how
I mean,
true
think
that is.
about it, bro. The world, like when they say it's a small world, you don't know.
It
who
low-key
you
is a
cro-
small,
Yeah.
like, it is a
Yeah.
small world.
truly
Right?
It really is a small world.
It is crazy. It is crazy. Like you don't know when you cross paths with people until it becomes relevant.
You
That's-
know,
you know.
I really do feel like, you know, obviously me being older in the situation here, you know, I've had, you know what I mean? I was, you know, not a lot of people know this, but I was engaged at one point. Yeah, right? But it's kind of, what?
Ring.
Had a ring on it for real, like ring on it for real. But like, I think the more you kind of experience life, you really have to realize that you have to have a genuine connection with somebody, and you have to kind of already know where you're gonna be at in your life personally.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
And I think that part is a lot of the parts that people miss. Right. When I met the person I was with at the time, I was not anywhere. I didn't even know what I want to do in my life. I didn't. And I think you have to truly know what you want to do with your life. And it sounds like the best part about it is that I feel like you both know what you want to do with your life.
Definitely,
Because
most
once you
definitely.
guys know what you want to do with your life and how that connects, then you guys can build on that because you know who you are as a person. When you don't know who you are as a person, it gets awkward. It gets weird because, hey, look.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah. No, and I have something to add to that because, you know, we have like these like deep conversations every single day, like all day, you know, like obviously some days more than others, maybe some days we're real busy, but like we're talking all the time and it's like never ending flow of like abundance and knowledge and like knowledge is power, you know? And one thing that really resonated with me that what you just said is the fact like you got to know yourself, right?
You do.
And a big part of how you know when you've met the right person, whether it's relationship or a friend, is when you face a challenge or something that tests your character or
Absolutely.
or something, and you're able to pause and be like, let me choose them and not dismiss them because it's convenient. You know?
Yeah.
Choosing people when it's convenient only, it's like, you know, it's
hell no.
you know,
Yeah, we
not
ain't doing that,
real.
yeah.
Like whether it's from your point of view or someone choosing you when it's convenient, you know, and like that's a big thing is like if you know yourself and what you're doing and you see, you know, let's say you're just, you know, a in your 20s girl around dating and, you know, a guy is only coming around when he's in town or only doing nice things for you when maybe he'll get something out of it, you know, it's like, yeah, like back, you know, leave that. You can leave that because it's easy to dismiss and be like, oh, fuck it, like it's done, you know.
No, 100%.
Like, you know,
no,
it's
100%.
done. But it's like when someone is so important in your life where you're facing a challenge and looking it in the eye and being like, you know what? I'm real mad right now, but I'm going to change my habits because the way I've reacted in the past clearly is in the past, and that's a different me, right? We all change.
Yeah.
There's certain points in our life. Some people it's when you turn 18, some people when you're 21, 22,
But we never stay the
whatever
same.
age,
No,
right?
no.
Whatever age, but there's some point in your life where you look back and you're like, dang, that person is not who I want to be.
No,
You know, and it's like you got to change habits. You really got to change habits in real time. And so, you know, like knowing yourself and knowing your mistakes. And like I said, looking a challenge, whether it's a person, whether it's an event, in the face and just being like, you know what? I got to handle this differently. Because if I handle it like I did every single other time, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
You know, like just like the same thing, waking up late, maybe performing poorly on a project or whatever it may be. If the same thing keeps happening, you got to stop and look back and be like, all right, what do I need to change? You know, but people forget that. But you know, it's as easy as make your bed every day. Make your bed every day. And it's funny because I come from a strict household and my dad would send me military videos.
And
it's like,
no, not the military
every
videos.
single
Military
morning,
videos.
make your bed because it's one thing in your day you can say that you succeeded at.
Okay.
And it's true.
The first one of the day.
You know,
First
and
one
I
of
would
the
look
day.
at these
I like
videos,
that.
I'm like, oh, that's just my dad, but it's true, you know, and from, you know, maybe I made my bed for a week after that, and then I don't make my bed now.
No,
you
for
know?
real. No,
You know what I mean? It could be simple.
No, it really is, and I think that's what, you know, is so special about, like, you know, things that, you know, people that really have that genuine, you know, connection is you know, the reality is, right, is that relationship building takes time, whether
For
it's
sure.
a relationship with, a partner, whether it's
For
a
sure.
relationship with your mother and stuff like that. It's weird. Life is such a weird place because relationships, man, it's so hard to maintain. You have
Yes.
toxic ones, you have bad, and I'm not just talking about toxic relationships in, like partners and stuff like that. I'm talking
Yeah.
about
All aspects.
friendships.
Most
There's
definitely.
friendships that I was in a toxic friendship, and that got recently cut recently, and it was funny. God just works in mysterious ways.
Most definitely.
Yes.
But it's interesting to think because, the relationship you have with your mother as you get older, it's different. You're a grown adult now and they're a grown adult. And at one point they were like changing your life. They were keeping you alive, right?
Yeah.
That's
And
so
it's
sure.
interesting to think about those things, right? And that's why I say it's always so important to know who you are as a person before you go too deep into getting into, people, getting into the business of, relationships
For sure.
with
Absolutely.
partners and stuff. And
Know
I think
yourself.
it's special. So,
And Paris, I just want you to double down on why the importance of knowing yourself is key, because tell these people, bro, why dream chasing requires that.
ooh, that's a good one.
That's
And I
so
feel like he
real.
knows. I
That's
feel
so
like he
real.
knows.
I feel like authenticity is everything because it helps you get a sufficient gauge on where you stand. You
There
know,
you go.
a lot of times your ego tells you, "Oh no, I'm the best. I'm always the best. I'm always the best." But if you're real with yourself and you put your best foot forward, then you can assess where you are compared to the pros. Then become the pros. Then become better than the pros.
Ooh,
There's been so many
see,
times where
that's
I've been in
good.
rooms and I'm like, yo, I used to look up to this dude. And now bro's asking me for a feature, or bro's asking me for, because when you got it and you're confident in your ability, it's like you shine,
Yeah.
You're surrounded by people who may not be doing it for the right reasons, and meeting them may be that like burst of that bubble. Maybe it's not everything you thought it was, but you know your intent, and it even speaks to them.
Exactly, exude.
You know what I'm saying?
Someone told me if you're doing something from a good place, you'll always end up in a good place.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
Most
I like that
definitely.
one.
You feel me?
That's so real.
And I
if
feel
you're-
like
and it's same things like being honest, just being true to yourself, being true to other people. It will always, the good will always prevail. If you're constantly lying, if you're constantly surrounding yourself with bad people, if you're constantly, surrounding yourself with maybe things that stroke your ego but don't necessarily like add to your life, that it's not gonna last. But if you come in a positive light and you're truly yourself, that's why people always tell you, just be yourself. Why do you care about what the popular kid is saying? Just be yourself. Wear what you
Exactly.
want, and as a young person, you're like scared of judgment, which is okay. It's a part of learning, part of growing.
Yeah.
But when you're just like unapologetically
you
yourself,
you got it.
it's like bad people or fake people can't hold on to that.
No, they can't.
They can't.
Facts.
because maybe someone who isn't in a good place mentally can be held by a toxic person, because maybe the toxic person knows that they can get to them, because
Yeah.
the unhealthy person, right, has a void that the toxic person knows how to fill, even if it's fake. Yeah, manipulation, But it's like, if you're a good person, like, those bad things will not last, because if you're constantly negative and complaining about everything, and I'm over here just talking good about everything, you're not gonna want to hang around me.
Right.
No, absolutely not.
I'll
Yeah.
stick around, I'll preach in your ear, I'll motivate you, but if you're like, I can't with this motivation anymore,
hell no.
I'm just gonna go. A negative person would do that, where
Yeah.
I'll be like, all right, here if you need me.
And
But-
Paris, I appreciate your disdain and disgust for negativity.
Yeah, he don't mess with negativity.
Definitely, because I understand. Like, I think I come from a family that's very extreme, so I've seen what a little bit of negativity can do to somebody. So for me, even putting out a little bit of negativity is not a desire for me. Like, I'd rather say nothing at all than say something that would discourage somebody.
Talk to him.
Absolutely.
Talk to him.
So oftentimes I'm silent because I want to be the observer. I want to be there to reinforce, to help people out, and then you know, and just offer guidance.
You're
And-
like Blitz.
Yeah,
Blitz
yeah.
be doing that. He be in public places,
Yeah.
not saying a word, just
telling you.
scanning out the whole scene.
I'm telling you.
No, you
know?
have to. Sometimes, you know, you have to understand that your piece is priceless, right?
Absolutely.
That's just priceless. That's what it
Yeah.
is, you know. And you know, sometimes I always say intelligence is realizing that you're not that intelligent
Yeah.
because you're not. You really aren't, right? There's so much about this world that we don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you know,
That part.
you know,
Yeah.
you don't know a lot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We can go as small as an atom or as
Yeah.
big as the universe.
For sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of times is when you enter a room that you don't know, sometimes you have to really peep out how people are moving first because each room is different. You know, you might be in a room full of successful people.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because in the marketing realm, there's a lot of ego.
Oh, I
There's
bet.
so much
I
ego.
bet.
I was getting, you know, sized up by a 21-year-old. He was like, yeah, bro. He's like, yeah, bro, I've generated millions of views. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Just keep going. Like, just
Yeah.
keep rolling it. Roll the tape. I got this. I got that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and it's funny because I look at there and I'm like, numbers-wise, I probably did, I don't know. I mean, I think last year, seriously, I did like 102 million views for the, you know, the clients I work with.
Amazing.
And it's kind of crazy because I don't look at views and say, "Oh yeah, I'm successful." I say, "Hey, what was our percentage of growth
Yeah.
on gross growth of income?" So that's what I look at as a marketing person.
Sure.
But some people, you know, they're so stuck in that the numbers. Oh, I got this many views. This went viral.
Yeah.
Did it do anything for you?
Right.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
it gonna push your career?
Is it going to push your career? And I don't knock people for doing it, but it's crazy because I've learned to develop this sense of maturity, right? Which was, all right, here, just let people speak when they want to speak because somebody that wants to speak is going to speak,
Yeah.
Sure.
right? That's all it is, right? They're gonna
Sure.
talk whenever they want to talk, and it's no knock against them. It's nothing personal. I always say like it's all love in the most part, but you know, I always feel like if I was a 21-year-old kid in marketing, I probably would act different than, you know, me being my age now. I'm 26. And, you know, those 5 years make a difference in maturity level.
Sure.
And it's kind of sad to see that some people, you really do have to feel some people out and just kind of let people speak sometimes.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, but if you go, just try this one time. Anybody, go try this one time. Go into a room and say absolutely nothing. Don't say nothing. And just let people speak.
Yeah.
They'll let you know exactly how they feel about you. They'll let you know exactly what they think about you. And most importantly, they'll just let them know what they think about themselves.
Yeah.
And if you just say, okay, cool, I just took all that information in. Boom. Now I know exactly what your first impressions of me were.
Absolutely.
And I know exactly where to take this conversation at this point because I know, hey, you got a high, hey, you flown higher with yourself, right?
The story writes
Man,
itself, you know.
I feel like a lot was soaked up today, man. This was good, man.
Now we got to keep
Amazing,
it rolling.
amazing.
Oh, absolutely. I need both of you to give the people just a life advice because from hearing both of you, you guys are doing very well, and I'm really proud of the fact that you're pumping positivity into each other. Like you're
Absolutely.
adding happiness to each other's happiness, and that's beautiful to see. But it's also easier said than done.
Sure.
So
Very easier said than done.
So for both of you, I want you to give our viewers, our weekday heroes, some life advice, man. It could be about anything. It could be about career. It could be about dreams, goals.
For sure.
Give the people what they want.
It was definitely, I would say, give life everything you got because you only have one life, you know. And if you act cool your whole life, towards the end you'll be coulda, shoulda, woulda, you know, as opposed to living your dream. That's it.
That's deep.
Man.
Period. I would say, because I feel like lately, specifically today, I've had some conversations with people about certain world events and life perspectives that's got me in a real pumped up mood. But I'd say, despite being pumped up, the best thing you can do sometimes is just take a step back.
Yeah.
And that applies to so many things. Finding yourself overwhelmed with homework, take a step back, you know?
Yeah.
Finding yourself overwhelmed with a person, take a step back. Finding, you know, too much on your plate, or even if you have a lot of good things going on, right? Take a step back, you know, take a moment to appreciate and be grateful because, you know, it's okay to be on a roll, but you know, sometimes giving credits where it's due to certain people, checking in on certain people. We can get caught up in our own lives, you know, and if
Yeah,
things are going
absolutely.
well,
That's a
like
big thing,
that's
yeah.
awesome. But it's like check up on your people, you know, and take a step back, give yourself a break, I guess. You know, I feel like take a step back is like a big thing. Like so much can change and turn out in your favor by not making the first decision that you set on, you know, or making the first comment that you want to make sometimes, you know? So I feel like, yeah,
Man,
that would be my
You know,
piece of advice.
some good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. You know, I think there's a Stoic quote. I don't know if you guys know what Stoicism is, but Stoicism is like this. You know, it's just like an ancient philosophy of like how to not move with your emotions and stuff like that. But there's a Stoic quote, and it kind of was making me think about what you were saying, right? Not be too attached to like with your emotions, right?
Yeah.
It's just sometimes you just gotta control what you can control, right?
Facts.
And don't worry about what you can't control.
Because you don't know. Because we don't know.
You don't know. So like
a lot of things.
Exactly. You know, for example, a lot of times I say, oh, okay, you didn't meet this deadline. Well, if you're in that position where you didn't meet it already, you can't control it.
Yeah.
So what can I do right now?
Yeah,
You know?
Right.
absolutely.
Think about what I can do right now.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
That's good,
So
Amazing.
man. I ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
You guys dropped all the
nothing, bro.
I mean, I always have something.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're something. Hey, you got the cowboy. You got something.
It's always got something.
You got
But
something.
From
Yeah.
everything I've been able to just soak up in this beautiful, beautiful conversation, I'm gonna go with be unapologetically yourself. When
Yes,
you move with genuine intention, you will receive good results, and you have to realize that you are your best product. Like you,
Okay.
For sure.
you are what you bring to that table. You feel me? You feel me? And
real.
know,
real.
you feel me? And know that you are enough. Okay,
You are enough.
are enough.
You are
right?
enough.
You just have to
You are
see
enough.
that you are. You have to believe that you are, and you have to surround yourself with people that know that you are.
We love
Right?
that.
For sure.
Amazing.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Because
Man,
love yourself
You know what? Yeah.
before someone can love you, you know?
Yeah. But you know what, bro? Before we close out, do you feel like you're yourself right now? Like, do you feel like you're a real cowboy? Hey, I'm
When
gonna
I
ask
put-
y'all.
when I
Do y'all
put this
feel like
hat-
you're a real cowboy?
when I
Be
put this
real.
hat, guys, you got to understand this, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
This is why we emphasize trying new things, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, I
This
didn't
ain't new
know,
no more though. This old.
I
now.
know.
This is
because
old now.
The fact that this is old now makes it crazy because I didn't know I could rock a cowboy hat.
Wait,
guys.
but
I
time
didn't
out.
know
But
this.
time
I
out. But
didn't
time
know
out.
this.
Did this man look like a cowboy to y'all? Just be straight
He
up.
does, man, for real. I feel like it looks like when somebody puts it on and like that's like their accessory, like he's rocking it. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel
Most
like everybody has
definitely.
their thing that like to me, if my hair wasn't in my face, I'll be like, this isn't me. That's what makes him him. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but is this
The
man
color
a cowboy,
coordination.
Though? Is this man a cowboy? Hey, wait, no. And
He
we,
an
we,
urban
we know the
cowboy,
accessory.
urban
We know the
cowboy.
accessory. But wait. Is this man a cowboy though?
Talk to him, Shannon.
Urban
Say
cowboy.
it.
Is this man just be straight up 100%? Is this man a
See,
cowboy?
like, I can't even answer that because it's like, to me, I'm like, okay, if I say you are a cowboy, it's like, and then people are like, well, what's a cowboy? I couldn't say what
Hell
that
no,
is.
this man ain't a cowboy.
I
Let's put it
couldn't
that
say
way.
what
This
that
man
is.
ain't a cowboy.
Listen.
Bro, where's the belt? Bro, hey,
Listen.
when we
The
were
belt,
in
you gotta have
Vegas,
the
they
belt
were
to match.
stancing them up. They were like this. They said, yeah, man, this is my first time here, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, get the
Listen,
hell.
They just
They-
confirmed
belt.
that I rocked the hat.
You rocked the hat. That's
Gotta
fine.
belt,
You rocked
gotta
the
have
hey,
the
he's
boots.
rocked it.
To be fair,
Right.
I think cowboy is like a lifestyle, you know,
Okay,
like
And he ain't
you
in
know,
that
It's a
cowboy
lifestyle.
it's a lifestyle.
Cowboy's a lifestyle.
But if you want to take a little accessory, you know, there you go. It matches your
This ain't-
outfit.
Hold on.
But jump right
This
in.
is not an accessory.
Jump right into the lifestyle.
This is not an accessory here. This is
think it's
a
a
life.
lifestyle.
This is
Jump
part
right
of the
in.
lifestyle. Hey,
I think
he
you're
had,
right.
You know.
I
He
think
had
you're right.
people coming up to him. They had
Oh yes.
they hit the hat
guys,
knot on.
guys, I got official hat.
He got
knots,
an
you feel
official
me?
hat knot.
Paris, you feel me?
That's
we
fire,
was
dog.
in
That's
the
amazing.
rodeo for real.
That's
Like
so cool.
This
You
man
know what
was
I'm saying?
not no Travis Scott rodeo. He was in the
Yeah.
rodeo.
real rodeo.
oh
we
my
were in the
goodness.
NFR,
You
the
know?
Super Bowl of
Oh,
Cowboys.
and yes.
It's
So then,
hey,
so
that's
they,
so
they saw him as a
cool.
cowboy. They saw him as a
That's
cowboy
so-
then.
and they
Yeah.
recognized me.
Yeah.
You're one of them.
Yes, Paris.
You know
they
what I'm saying?
recognized me.
I
That's
don't
so
know if they saw him as
cool,
a
you know?
cowboy because I will say there was a lot of people that were like, he got just as much as these as he got.
But I did get some. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
And that's
It is-
you know,
hey.
you-
Fake Satan on
There
the
you
positive.
go.
He was the only brother
Very few brothers.
No,
Okay,
there was
very
like
few.
Hey,
one other, but I
and-
promise you there was
And
one other.
sometimes,
They paved the way.
Yeah. Sometimes all it
I'm
takes,
telling you, I'm
all it takes
radically-
is a style to connect to more people.
Thank you guys again for joining another Friday Free for All. And please stay tuned for the next drop. Please make sure to comment, like, subscribe, because you know we love you, but we want to hear from you. Okay, so please engage with us. Be ready for the next drop. Thank you again for joining the Free for All. Enjoy your weekend, and just know it gets serious to fun as the week gets done. Serious to fun as the week gets done. Serious to fun as the week gets done.